was alone because my roommate Tim was out of town. He'd gone upstate to visit his folks, and he was going to be gone all weekend. It was supposed to be this nice little break for both of us, right? Tim gets to hang with his family, and I get to just chill, have the place to myself, do whatever. I mean, nothing exciting really. Probably watch some movies, get some pizza, maybe even pass out on the couch without anyone nagging me. A pretty normal plan, or so I thought. Anyway, it was around 9 or so, and I'd settled in for the night. I was wrapped up in this big old blanket on the couch, barely awake but comfy. I was watching some dumb movie I'd seen a million times before, more for background noise than anything else. The lights were dimmed, I had my snacks, and for the most part, it felt like the perfect night in. Then, out of nowhere, I got this weird feeling. You know when the air just shifts, and you suddenly feel like there's someone watching you? Yeah, that kind of feeling. I tried to ignore it at first, just shook it off as one of those random things. But it didn't go away. In fact, it only got stronger. Then, it happened. I was still sprawled out on the couch, thinking about getting up to maybe turn off the lights or something, when I felt it, a cold breath, right on the back of my neck. And I mean cold, like ice. I froze, every hair on my body standing up. I don't think I even breathed. I just sat there, totally still, trying to make sense of what was going on. I kept thinking, maybe it's just a draft, but I knew better. There was no window open, and I was on the couch in the middle of the room. There was no way a draft could have hit me like that. Just as I was about to turn around, I heard it. A voice, low and chilling, barely more than a whisper. It said, "Don't turn around." I can't even explain the kind of fear that ran through me in that moment. It wasn't just normal fear. It was something else. Something way deeper. My stomach dropped, and it was like every part of me was screaming to get out of there, but I couldn't move. I couldn't even blink. It was like I was trapped in my own body, frozen by this voice that just came out of nowhere. I sat there, wide-eyed, not knowing what to do. Now I know you're probably thinking, why didn't you just run? Trust me, I wanted to. But when you're in that moment, it's like you're paralyzed. In a fight or flight mode, I froze instead. I kept having the feeling that whatever was behind me didn't want me to leave. It was like it was waiting for me to do something, and if I moved, something terrible would happen. So I just sat there, gripping the blanket with my eyes locked on the TV, which was still playing that dumb movie, like nothing was wrong. Then the voice came again. Or turn around if you want. This time, it was louder and a little closer. I swear, I could feel it vibrating through my bones. My heart was pounding so hard, I thought it was going to break right through my chest. I wanted to scream, to yell for help, but the sound just wouldn't come. My throat was dry, and it felt like I'd swallowed sand. I was sweating bullets at this point, even though I still felt that cold chill wrapping around me. It was like this icy presence was getting closer, and I could feel it just inches from me, breathing down my neck. I kept staring at the TV, trying to focus on it, but the screen started to blur. I couldn't even make out the scenes anymore. It was just colors and lights swirling in front of me. Then it spoke again, this time softer, but somehow even scarier. "If you turn around, you'll see me." I felt this wave of dread wash over me, like 1,000 pounds pressing down on my chest. And at that moment, I didn't want to know what was behind me. I couldn't take it. So instead of looking, I just closed my eyes tight, hoping that whatever it was would just go away if I couldn't see it. I sat there, eyes squeezed shut, hardly even breathing, every second feeling like an eternity. My mind was racing, trying to think of something, anything, that would make this nightmare end. But the voice didn't stop. It was like it could feel my fear, and it was feeding off it. And then that voice spoke again, quieter this time, right next to my ear, as if it was inches away. "You'll see me soon enough." That was it. I couldn't take it anymore. It was like my body moved on its own, like pure survival instinct kicking in. Without even thinking, I swung my arms backward, just wildly flailing, hoping to hit something, anything, to make it go away. But my arms only hit empty air. Nothing. Just the cold, empty space behind me. Slowly, I opened my eyes and turned around, breathing hard, my heart pounding so fast it felt like it was going to burst. But there was nothing there. No one. The room was just as empty as it had been before, as if none of it had ever happened. I can't even tell you how scared I was that night. I grabbed my keys, threw on my shoes, and headed straight to one of my friend's place. I showed up looking like a total wreck, but he didn't ask too many questions. Just let me crash on his couch. I didn't go back home until Tim came back a few days later. I figured that whatever had happened was over, and as long as I wasn't alone in the apartment, I'd be fine, right? For a while, everything felt normal again. Tim was back, things settled down, and I started to forget about that night. Sure, I'd get a chill here and there thinking about it, but I kept telling myself it was just some freaky thing that happened and that it was over. But then it wasn't. One night, a few weeks after, I woke up feeling like someone was in the room with me. It was that same heavy feeling pressing down on me like a weight. I opened my eyes, and that's when I saw him. A man crouched right over me, so close I could have reached out and touched him. Except his head was twisted backward. I couldn't see his face, just the back of his head staring down at me in this way that just didn't make any sense. It was like every hair on my body was standing straight up. I didn't dare move. Then, just as I thought I couldn't get any more terrified, his head started to turn. Slowly, like in some awful horror movie, it twisted inch by inch, and I knew it was about to face me. Every instinct in me was screaming not to look, so I shut my eyes tight and just lay there, my heart pounding in my chest. I could feel him getting closer, feel his breath chilling the air around me, and then he spoke. "Look at me," he whispered, his voice so close it made my skin crawl. I was practically holding my breath, doing everything I could to ignore him, to act like I didn't hear it, but he didn't stop. "Look at me," he repeated over and over, each time a little more intense, like he was begging or demanding. I kept my eyes shut, too afraid to even twitch. I don't know how long he went on, repeating those words, telling me to look at him. It felt like hours, like time had just stopped, leaving me trapped in this awful moment. And then, silence. I still didn't dare open my eyes. I lay there, every muscle in my body tense, listening to the silence around me. Finally, when I couldn't take it anymore, I opened my eyes a crack. But there was nothing there, just me, alone in the room. That morning, I grabbed my things and drove straight to my parents' house. I didn't care about looking crazy. I needed someone else to know what was happening. I told them everything, from the voice that first night to the man with the twisted head. My dad listened, didn't say much, just nodded a few times. Then he disappeared into the garage for a bit and came back with a long, thin bamboo branch. He didn't give me any explanation, just said, "Let's go." When we got back to the apartment, he started moving through each room, brushing that bamboo branch along the walls, the floor, the doorways. He was muttering something under his breath the whole time, this low, steady chant that I couldn't quite make out. I followed him, feeling this strange sense of calm starting to wash over me, like whatever had been hanging in the air was finally fading. When he finished, he looked at me and just said, "It's done." And you know what? He was right. I never saw or felt anything like that again. The apartment went back to normal, and so did my life. But that experience, it's burned into my memory. Sometimes I still feel like I can hear that whisper, telling me to look, and I have to shake myself out of it. I don't know what was in that apartment, and I'm not sure I want to. All I know is that, thanks to my dad and that bamboo branch, I never had to look. And thank God for that. Thank you for listening to this video. I'll see you in the next one.